Good morning everyone and welcome into the very exciting finale of our LEGO Legend of Zelda Custom Set Showcase Wave 2. Now of course the wave is not over, but this is our last set to take a look at today, and it is none other than Z0024 with 1,500 plus pieces, one that you've been waiting for, known it's coming, and are excited for, I hope. It's the Hyrule Castle Sanctum. Now, before we get too deep into this, I want to disclaimer the way that this thing looks a bit funny. I really wanted to make mine stand out from the Brick Gallery amazing one, the one that he put on ideas and got 10,000 supporters on. So this is a chibified playscale version of the Hyrule Castle Sanctum that it is designed to fit modularly with Z0027, the Hyrule Castle Wall Attack. And this is an 8 and plus set with 1,500 plus pieces, retailing for 130 Great British pounds, and with 5 minifigures. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time in studio today because the model is not strictly finished. There's a lot of interesting things to get here too, so even if it's not exactly what you were expecting, I hope you stick around to hear my thought process and my ideas about what I think LEGO will do with this model. But anyway, let's read the description and get straight on into the box. So, the centre of Hyrule is now yours to build. Enjoy the replica of Hyrule Castle Sanctum from Breath of the Wild and named Calamity Ganon's Reign of Terror. Hunt for Misco's treasure and serve Zelda and the King. Fully connectable to Z0027, expand your console to defend against the monster hordes. With 5 minifigures, the Hyrule Castle Sanctum is brimming with features like a throne room, collapsible floor, and posable Calamity Ganon figure. So here is our model all built up. You can see Calamity Ganon on the side over there. Let's open up our box where we have bags number 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, as well as a thick instruction manual. And opening up that instruction manual, we can see what builds the bag, and bag 1 gives us the Hyrule Hood Link and our champion Calamity Ganon. and Calamity Ganon. Bag 2 gives us the base of the castle, and bag 3 builds up the interior walls of the laboratory as well as the rock cliffs with waterfalls. Bag 4 gives us the royal guard as well as the ramp and technic frame up to the castle. Bag number 5 builds up the right hand side of the walls of the throne room, and bag 6 does the left. Bag 7 gives King Rome Bosphorus as well as the roof of the ground floor and the throne. Bag 8 builds the platform for the next side up as well as the side towers. Bag 9 gives us Misco as well as the actual Sanctum Ganon Poop area. Bag 10 finishes off the tower and gives us the Royal Zelda. And then Bag 11 finishes off the side towers and the whole castle. So here is the best feature of the castle in my opinion, and you may be going, well, that image is a lot thicker than the one we just saw, and that is because you'd be right, as this castle can be bought 2 copies of and put back to back. And this is because a playable Hyrule Castle needs to have an open back, but if you want to be displayable, well, buy 2 copies, stick them back to back, and you've got the full castle in its whole octagonal glory, and it makes it look a lot more complete if you ask me. And of course, it also connects with Z0027, the castle wall segments, which you can see in this image here. And wow, doesn't that look incredible? And as we add more Hyrule Castle expansions across the waves, I think this is going to get even bigger, even better. I can't wait to see what the drawbridge entrance looks like. I think it's going to look spectacular. So, despite the castle looking a bit past its sell-by date, I think it's a great model, really, and it illustrates my point perfectly. But of course, to do this, you'd need 2 copies of the Hyrule Castle Sanctum and 6 copies of the Castle Wall Defense, and within that you would get 2 Calamity Ganons, 2 Royal Guards, 12 soldiers, 6 Moblins, 12 Red Bokoblins, and 6 Silver Bokoblins, as well as some duplicates of Link, Misco, Calamity Ganon, Rome, and Zelda. But it's a great layout, although a bit expensive, totaling about £500 or so. So definitely a thing to do on sale or for only the most dedicated of Legend of Zelda fans. So, because the model isn't finished, I needed to be forward and share with you my plans for the original design, and then we'll see these all implicated when we go over to Studio. Firstly, to point out that there were minimal rods required to attach 2 sanctums together. This is a built-in feature, not just something that you could do. There are Technic pin attachers so that you could make this display model. And then next is the features. So originally I wanted to include a Korok puzzle, waterfalls which you'd be able to fake swim up, exploding slopes, so that slope up the front would explode, an interior stair collapse, so the stairs leading up to the throne room would collapse, the Calamity Ganon tube, so I'd make his cocoon that he could fall out of, and then obviously the collapsible floor that leads to the lavatory beneath the castle. And some of these features are implemented, like the waterfalls and the slope, but there's no actual features. So that's the best you're going to get for finding out what I think play features wise would be included in the Sanctum. Before we go and take a look at my failures in studio, let's go and quickly run through the figures. So here we have the Breath of the Wild Hylian Hood Link, based off this combination of armor from Breath of the Wild, where you have the Champion's Tunic, Hylian Trousers, and Hylian Hood. Here the Hylian Hood is used in the normal Lego hood piece, in a dark blue colour, with a blue cape, and he is reusing the same face, torso, and leg printing from Z0011, Guardian Attack, and that is because I don't mind not making that figure exclusive, because this one's different as it has no hairpiece, which would not be included within the set. Next up, we have Misco the Bandit, a figure suggested by Game Extreme RB, and he is a figure that is not technically seen in Breath of the Wild. However, he is who orchestrated the stealing of the DLC items from Hyrule Castle, as well as he has a side quest given by Domodak and Prison, who his Lego minifigure form is based off, at the Julian Peak stable, where he hid his cache of treasure. And his accessories here are the Rumorville number 4 and the EX chest, which he has the DLC items in it. His clothes are worn down. He's wearing a brown trench coat with some shoulder patches on his arms. He's got the Ninjago hood piece, as well as the Breath of the Wild Link hairpiece recolored in dark brown for him. He has a goatee, some shadows under his eyes, and he's looking suitably mischievous. Really like this figure and that it was suggested, although he doesn't actually appear in Breath of the Wild. It was nice to do a Zelda figure that was 100% up to me. Next up, we have King Roan Bottom Hyrule from Breath of the Wild and Age of Calamity, and obviously he is the king of Hyrule. He is reusing the Series 13 Knight crown piece because I don't think LEGO would make a new one. However, he is using a new beard mold that I designed for him, which is a lot more round, and that is in white. He has got a face print with more bug eyes, even though I'm trending away from those now, and he has some very detailed arm, torso, and leg printing, which I'm very happy with. Next up, we have the Royal Guard, which is another one of my favourite figures from Wave 2, and he is using some dual molded legs and arms with that creamy white colour. He has a simplified face print because obviously this armour set is based off the armour that Link wears in Breath of the Wild. But this is not Link, this is just a generic soldier protecting the king and the castle. He has a recolour of the beret in dark blue, as well as some very nice torso, leg and arm printing. Next up, we have the Research Zelda from Breath of the Wild, which you can see her reference of on screen. She has some dual molded arms, just like the Royal Guard, the new dress piece in blue, and she is using the Sally hairpiece from Disney Series 2 in blonde, which just recently came with the Phoebe Buffet minifigure in the Friends apartment. Very excited about that. She's reusing the same face print from her CMS variant last year, as that's something that LEGO did, and she has some normal skin flesh toned hands. And to round out the cast, we have Calamity Ganon from Breath of the Wild, based off his Breath of the Wild appearance, which you can see on screen now. He has all the correct appendages, which you'll see more closely when we go over the studio. He has the flame and two nice looking prints on a sloped brick and then a tile as well. And you can see the reference to Water Blight's spear, Wind Blight's gun, Fire Blight's fire, and then Thunderblight's sword is down there at the back as well. So he's a perfect representation of Calamity Ganon in LEGO. I'm super, super proud of this figure. I really hope you guys like him. Honestly, this is one of my favorites, I think. And here is a little bonus image of Ganon and the Blights all together, ready to destroy Hyrule. And they are an menacing lot, and I really love these. I'm so pleased that I got to make these guys. Oh, I love this showcase. But anyway, before we dally too much, let's go over to studio and discuss the actual castle and the reason it doesn't look fully complete. So here in studio, and you can see that the castle is actually fairly big. And the first thing we're going to do is just point out a couple of details on the interior which I think are worth mentioning. So firstly, up high you've got these 3 rooms, and in these you would have had the Korok puzzles if I had time to actually do them. And this is where you start to see why this model's not finished. I mean, the floors are literally floating, the Technic frame is non-existent, and well, there are holes everywhere in the walls. There's literally pieces missing. Down in this section here, you would have had some more details, some posts, some guards, but most of this space would have been taken up with the Ganon tube, which would have had a pull lever, and then Ganon would have fallen straight down below into the laboratory beneath the sanctum. So you haven't got much space there. You've got some battlements and a lot of play space around the top, this very interesting angle. And then as we go down into the interior of the throne room, you can see these beautifully curved steps, which I do really love, as our only interior feature up until a very simplified version of the throne. Now this set is actually designed to look like before the Calamity, but actually all of its play features are related to Breath of the Wild, so post-Calamity, which is an interesting take, I think. You've also got some columns up the side, as well as this huge gap in the floor, which is where the feature for the collapsible floor would have been to send Calamity Ganon and Link down into a laboratory, which is a feature I've never seen implemented in any LEGO Zelda attempt at Hyrule Castle, and why I wanted mine to be different. Because let's face it, I was never going to beat Brick Galleries at Hyrule Castle, so I had to make mine a bit different. So we included the laboratory and then the cliffs and waterfalls out the front. And you'd obviously have all your Sheikah markings, but most importantly, this is a nice battle arena for Calamity Ganon and Link. In fact, if we go and grab him from out the front, you can see that he almost fits just perfectly in the hole. Ah, look, I'm attacking things. Grrr. You've got the side towers over to the side over here where you could post some more guards, and these facilitate the connection of Z027 in bits of different places. You can see those waterfalls as well as the slope up to the front, as well as the beginning of texturing detail and flags out the front. And then the castle goes up to these big hollow turret pieces in dark blue. So that's pretty much an overview of that part of the model, and you can start to see why there were parts of it that didn't get finished. The Technic was the real difficulty, but I think this illustrates my point just fine of what I think LEGO would do in this chibified, slightly squashed proportion model of Hyrule Castle, which is, I think, more likely to what we get. I don't think we'll see a beautifully done one like Brick Galleries. I think we'll see something similar to the 2018 Harry Potter Great Hall set, where the proportions were all slightly twisted to make them better for play. Now, one thing I am super proud of and really pleased that I got a chance to do is Mr. Calamity Ganon over here. And he's a great model. I absolutely love the texturing on his beard in the dark red, and you can see all the limbs nice and clearly over here, so we'll go through those one by one. So you've got Fireblight's little fire piece here, as well as some smoky black tiles to represent like Malice Goop stuff. You've got this pincer arm up here, as well as Windblight's gun, which can twist on an angle, using a barb piece to represent more Malice tech. You've got some more smoky tiles above Windblight's spear. You've got a miniaturized version of the Guardian legs that I used in Z0011. His black spider abdomen, some more Malice details. Oh, we got the castle in the way there. Another Guardian leg, another Malice infected leg with this purple triangle, and then Thunderblight's sword and Fireblight's axe. And I think the prints really bring this guy to light, but I absolutely love him as a character. And, well, there's not too much more to say. If you've got any questions about what actually happened here, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if we ever hit 100 subs, I will redo this guy without the mold budget and make him look as best as he can for the future Zelda sets. But let's go back and wrap up the build portion of the showcase. So, that's all the sets, and I hope that wasn't too much of an anticlimactic ending to Z0024 and to our whole Wave 2 showcase. I think there's a lot here to love, and I really do think that the castle illustrates my point just fine, and I do stand by my word that one day we will redo it. So let me know if you had any problems with that down in the comments, as well as now that we're at the end of the first half of our showcase, let me know which set was your favourite, and go back and watch the ones that you missed, because they've all got something interesting to show, and as you've just seen, they've all built on each other, and I really do love all of them. I mean, although as much as I've just complained about Z024 and I also had to go at Spirit Train, they're all great. I do love them. But this means we're entering into the second part of Wave 2, which is considerably shorter, where we've got some exclusive content of me ranking the sets, ranking the figures. That's another one that's upcoming this time around. I'm going to share my cancelled set ideas, so not ones like the Water Temple, which actually made it through the cut, but the ideas so bizarre that they had to be removed from the showcase. So I think you guys might find that one interesting, as well as we'll be taking another look inside Z016 and the techniques inside the Hylian shield, and I'll be breaking those down in a little chill format, as well as I've got a video upcoming about me drawing my figures and my new package that I'm using for that. So, yeah. I hope you stick around for the second part of Wave 2, and of course Wave 3 is not too far into the distant future. We'll be seeing it later this summer, as well as the promised DigiLink sets. So stick around, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know anything down in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.